Hello, everybody, and welcome to another daily plan. I'm your boss, Joe Boss, and we're going to get right into it. The NFP is right around the corner here. If we look at the FX heat map real quick to see what's moving here, it mostly looks like the Canadian dollar, the Swiss franc, and the yen is getting hit quite a lot. The pound seems to be the big winner so far today. And everything is down against the pound. And then everything is up against the CAD, everything's up against the Swissy, everything's up against the yen. Except in order of strength, it looks like it's CAD, then Swissy, then yen. So yen's the weakest, Swissy's the second weakest, and CAD is the third. Alrighty. Just let me know everything is good on the stream. Yeah, it looks like everything's coming on through. I had to do an emergency change here at the beginning of the stream because there's something that goes on with YouTube where I need to go and use the backup streaming server because for some reason it like won't stream my full connection or whatever. But saved the stream. All right, so let's go to the economic calendar. Let's head to today. And there you go. You see, coming in. So we have US employment data and Canadian employment data coming in at exactly the same time. My expectation is that both are going to be good. So it's going to be a tug of war between who's doing better. The Bank of Canada is on a looser policy stance than the United States, and anything around 180, 190,000 NFP or 200,000 plus NFP would continue to keep the Fed on a hawkish policy stance, at least in respect to employment, their employment mandate. We'll have to see how Canada does. Canada so far is doing okay. We'll have to see. Hopefully it all turns out right. Yeah, there's that 170 number. Yeah, see, here's the forecast, 170. The last couple of NFPs came out above forecast. But the thing with this next NFP is that they are changing how they're doing all these calculations for their NFPs. From what I understand, the change will make it easier for people who use the ADP report to try and predict what the NFP will be. Easier, actually. So if you going into the future, it hasn't been that so much the last few years, especially after COVID. The ADP report had some kind of leading correlation for NFP for a time, and that got weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Now it seems like, based on the analysis that I've read about the upcoming changes, that's more likely to be coming back in the future. So I'll look forward to actually seeing if there is any sort of correlation, but this next NFP is also going to be including revisions for a lot of other NFPs. So we'll have to be playing it pretty careful today. So here we got our range probabilities. This is the Canadian dollar. It has not been holding up well so far today against the US dollar. Let's go check out the Great British Pound. And yeah, you can see it had a big shoot up. Before we continue, I'm going to bring this up. Let's go for our week ahead stuff. Let's see, what did we have for today? Yeah, there's the employment data for the United States and Canada, and now we have the neutral rate estimate out of the ECB. So we're going to find out what the ECB is setting their long run expectation for. Effectively, the idea is, are they going to set whatever the ECB does here, by the way, is kind of important for us with actually trading this. Effectively, will the ECB set their long-run cash rate expectation to 2% or 1.75%? It will most likely be 2%. But if they set it below 2%, it's going to increase rate cut expectations by at least one more rate cut, probably this year. And then later today, a political thing going on. Shiba is meeting with Trump still, I believe. And this is the agenda. United States are in the final stages of planning their meeting. This is from a report earlier last week. But this is my commentary here. This meeting will be very important for Shiba politically, depending on what decisions are made in result of this meeting with Trump. It could hurt or benefit Shiba's chances of maintaining his party, the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan's power, in the upcoming House of Councilors election. And he really needs that win because they lost a lot of support during the last election due to some fundraising scandals that the party was involved in. So we're going to bring up the Discord real quick because we actually have where is it? Research forum. There you go, Japanese House of Councilors. And yesterday Shiba said this: I aim to build a relationship of trust with Trump at the bilateral meeting. So any news about it, well, first off, in the Trump Watch thread, I will be sharing the link to the White House live stream. I'm gonna see if I can get a bot in here that can just automatically refresh and check whenever there's a new video or a new live stream planned, and then have it announce it in here. So then, as soon as the information comes out, we automatically have it. But for now, we're just having to kind of just check it manually in the meantime. Let's see, maybe I could find it. Wow, they don't have a YouTube link on the White House website. YouTube, and if I search for White House, do they have any live streams planned today? No, they don't have Shiba's thing planned yet. I wish there was a schedule on the White House website, honestly. This is what it looks like, right? Progress on the situation. Oh, that's from a few days ago, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Remember to check out the research forum. This is sorted by elections, but there's other stuff going on here. Geopolitics, economic stuff. Oh, and then the midterms. We've had some updates around expectations on the midterms. It looks so far, even though the midterms are 2 years away, it's good to follow how things are progressing. And so far, it looks like the Republicans, if things go as expected, they'll probably get 55 Senate seats, which will be a larger majority than they have right now. But yeah, check out all these little topics here. We are getting the German federal election coming up here in the next 2 weeks. So this channel, this German federal election, is gonna, yeah, check that out. AFD and the CDU are going head to head right now. It's gonna be pretty close. In the foot. Merz really shot. Well, it's more like Merkel shot her own party in the foot by intervening in politics that she wasn't really supposed to be intervening in. Let's see, how much more time? 10 more minutes. All right, cool. Isn't that nice that you can just look at all these countdown timers come in? So, let's see here. DXY, how are we moving into it so far? So far, so good. And hey, look, there's the, hey, if this is your low for the day, these would be your respective following tops for the day. It looks like if NFP is good, we will end up here. And you can see that there's an increase in probabilities right there. So that kind of lines up. And we'll probably continue watching DXY for the next 10 or so minutes, but maybe there's a couple other charts we can check out in the meantime. How is Bitcoin doing? It's holding up. It's up on the day. It's doing good. Ethereum's doing all right. Yep. All the cryptos are doing okay. How about gold? Gold and oil. So oil's holding in okay. It's maintaining a lot of, it's still going up after that gap up from the tariff stuff way over here, right? But that might be the top for the month here. On gold. We'll have to see. And then oil, yeah, no, so I was looking at gold there on that last chart. So here's oil. It's falling through this. Yeah, this probably could be the low. Oh, wow. Check that out. So there's your odds of catching the low for the week down here. And there's your low. It's a neat little indicator, I tell you. Good stuff. Yeah, so we just went through a few charts in about a few minutes. I wonder if there's anything else. How is chocolate doing? Is chocolate still expensive as hell right now? No, chocolate's coming down in price. Oh, thank God. And then, do I have coffee here? Ah, man, what's the ticker for coffee? Oh, KT. Yeah. Dude, look at coffee. The beginning of this year, the thing is up 150%. And then we can add this to the watch list. How about LNG? Yeah, LNG is kind of taking a bit of a hit. But at net, it's doing well off these lows. Nothing crazy, guys. Nothing crazy yet. Well, It can change in about roughly 5 minutes from now, the craziness. Let's see, how are the equity indices doing going into NFP? Let's check out 30-minute. Seems to just be flat, net right now. And UK stock market is holding in. It appreciated. It did pretty well this week so far. Look at that. Australia doing okay. France doing a good recovery. Oh, you know why I think France had its recovery here? Because way over here on Monday, that's when the French government passed their budget, and it doesn't look like we will be getting a vote of confidence against Bayrou. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So the French economy should be stabilizing now, which will be ultimately good for the euro. And this is the Euro 50. And you can see the improvement come in here. But yeah, and everything seems to be good here. So it's just net from Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday was a really good day, huh? Wednesday was a really good day for European equities. This is all probably based on the relief coming off of the tariff announcement. But that'd be my best guess. Yeah, this is all right here. This is all tariff relief. Tariff relief and the French government not having another vote of confidence against its leader. All right, let's head back to the DXY chart. I am kind of curious what the seasonal statistics are saying here. It's just saying that we closed sideways pretty much. Yeah, this is a pretty hard week to trade, it looks like. Looking at things seasonally. Wow, look at that. That was a pinpoint. Look at that. That was pretty pinpoint, huh? Right down to this price. Right exactly at the low, and then closing right here. Oh man, those were that's some pretty good stuff, man. Imagine doing that. Okay. I don't need to look at the continuation odds here. I really should. I'm doing an update right now to put alerts in this indicator. It should be out soon. I should really consider moving the strategies stuff higher. Yeah, because all this is style settings. I should put the seasonal filter and these strategy things here for the table higher up. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have a little update for the indicator, and we'll update some of the settings for the indicator. Let's see here. What would be... Yeah, I don't really have a strategy I really want to look at. I just wanted to see the number of samples. So 17. Okay, I'm going to have to set this to 1 week. And then filter type, let's do after year 1980, I believe. And that should give us 40 samples based on the weekly pivots. Once it loads, yep, there we go. And yeah, this is a very good example. I should actually take note of this because I'm looking for these kinds of examples of very uniform range probability pivots. You can see how they're like 8, 6, 11, 8, 11, 8, 11, 11, 6, 6. It's pretty flat. So either NFP comes out with very positive revisions in the US and we close around, well, we'll probably end up closing around 109, or nothing crazy happens and we end up, oh, I believe we just got NFP now. Let's open up Financial Juice, turn on the squawk.
Week hours, 34 spot 1, 34 spot 1, lower than forecast, 34 spot 3. Average earnings month over month at 0.5%, 0.5%, which is higher than forecast, 0.3%. So for the revisions then, US payrolls level in March 2024 revised down by 589,000. So again, US payrolls level in March of 2024 revised down by 589,000. US 2024 average monthly gain revised to 166k from 186k. BLS says total non-farm payrolls level for 2024 again revised downward by 589,000 seasonally adjusted. US rate futures see the Fed next cutting rates in May versus June before this jobs report, seeing now some strength come through in the dollar, again just whipsawing in the S&P 500. 10-year Treasury yield rising in choppy trade following the jobs data.
Well, this should be pretty
again,
flat.
Traders see the Fed next cutting in June after the jobs report.
God, what to trade?
Also noting prior revisions for the change in private payrolls revised to 273k from 223k. Manufacturing payrolls revised up slightly to minus 12k from minus 13k.
I don't know why dollar would get
Eurozone
strong
bond
on
yield
this.
steady after the payrolls data as well. Last down 0.7%.
I mean, it's pretty much working in my favor, but I'm kind of perplexed. Especially on this CAD, because we look at the data. The data for Canada came out good, and the data for the US came out
US average
bad.
earnings year over year prior revision as well, revised up to 4.1% from 3.9%, making it unchanged at this month.
This should be dollar bearish. I don't know why we're getting this kind of movement here. And for everyone watching, I did take a shot. I'll go ahead and just draw it here on the chart for you guys now. And 1.03599 on the long side here.
Also noting the Canadian dollar strengthening as much as spot 1% per dollar following the jobs data, unwinding its gains. A euro falling after the US jobs data, last down 0.28% against the dollar.
Oh, check that out. Okay, so Canadian dollar did improve here. That's what you want to see. And I did exit this. So I had a stop at the low right here. So I'll be
Canadian
posting
swaps
those.
Markets see 53% chance of a Bank of Canada rate cut in March, which is down from 64% before the US jobs data.
All right, let me go ahead and let's see here. Where's Discord? Let's go to the DXY. Oh, don't want to lose the Discord here. Yeah, so net, everything's pretty chill, I'd say. Nothing crazy. It should be dollar weakness, especially with the CAD economic data. So let's go here. Let's go to central banks. And where is that link? So odds for the Fed just got more dovish, and odds for the Bank of Canada just got more hawkish.
Gold little changed in volatile trade following NFP.
So, yeah. That's probably it on the day. Nothing too crazy. I would expect to see more dollar weakness follow through from here,
Germany's 10-year bond yield edging up as well. Last up 0.5%.
Oh, okay. So bond yields. So that means the yield spreads on the euro should be improving, no?
Just keep in mind as well, at around 8:40 a.m. Eastern Time, Fed's Kashkari is due to be appearing on CNBC following the jobs data.
Yeah, the short-term yield spreads have begun to improve. And they are going up literally in real time right now, these yield spreads. Are we going to cross 0.2 here? Oh, looks like it. We're at 1.199. So, don't get me wrong, these yield spreads are pretty darn negative. But that seems to mostly be from the 1, 2, and 3-year yield moving down over the last week. You can see here. So, it's been pretty much sideways yield movements over the last month. And look, we're now at 0.226 on our yield spreads. So yield spreads are improving short term, so we're probably going to see some... Oh man, if it keeps moving like this, going into the German election, I would not be surprised to see something along these lines here. And look, these are the monthly ranges. Right, so there's a big chunk of highs that occur right there. And then today is the 7th, right? Yeah, today's 7th. And this is 0539. All right, there's an expectation there, live on stream. Oh, I grabbed the wrong side of it. We want to move this guy to the right. We'll see if this holds up. I mean, not on necessarily the day. I'm pretty sure this will hold up on the day. This NFP is going to be fine, I think, for short dollar. My question is this something that I reasonably could swing now that I know that the yield spreads are very likely going to be improving over the next week and a half here? Because in the increase in rate cut expectations out of the Fed is a really positive change for being short the dollar. I mean, I've just flipped my positions after this NFP to be short dollar. But yeah, pretty straightforward move. We still have our eyes on the ball. Notice how a lot of the things that I'm talking about here in the stream are things that are coming in the future. Like, oh, we have all these things going on with, you know, all this politics.
We are expecting comments from Fed's Kashkari, who's due to be giving an interview on CNBC any time from now.
Okay, we're going to stay on for that. He might say something dumb. I've realized, you know, over the last year or so, I've really solidified the thought of, oh, I need to make sure I'm on top of expectations of market participants by reading outlooks and looking at economic events and looking at what those, you know, what's most likely to be expected from those economic events, and then create some kind of trade plan. And, you know, I have my statistical tools, and you can get access to these things with the link in the description, Discord and all that. But I've found and come to realize, especially since the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, the power of doing political research for trading and the impact that changes in fiscal and political expectations also moves markets. I mean, it's very, very easy to say that for 2024 because that's when we just had the Trump inauguration. But I've been doing I don't know, where's the thread here? There's an old closed thread now. US presidential election. And I go to let's go to, where's the pinned posts? Yeah, after a year of updating this thread with election updates, it's over. Look at that. This is why I say late 2023, because that's when I started doing research on this thread and started following what people were saying and following what the polls were saying and what all the commentators were. Look, this is in February of 2024, like 10 months before the election, 8 months before the election. This is a whole document from Wells Fargo. U.S. elections, part 2, monetary policy implications. I think I'm very clearly making my point here by bringing up stuff like this. And then this is still when Joe Biden was in the race. Look, border crisis, Biden invasion. Look at it. This is pretty close to the actual result we got. Look at this. This was back in March of this year. And this was with Biden. This is pretty much the map that we got. In the end. This was 7 months before the election. So when people say like, oh man, you know, what a huge surprise. It's like, no. There's been a lot of research on this. And look, there's part 3. US elections and fiscal policy implications instead of monetary policy implications. I mean, when, you know, there's the whole, practice what you preach stuff, right? Like, that's a really good barometer for a lot of people's bullshit detectors when it comes down to stuff. Like, okay, here's a thread of me doing research on the US election for over a year. And then when the US election, the day of the US election, I trade it. And then I have my trade log of it showing that I traded it perfectly from the top of the day to the I sold the top of that day on the US election. I traded it perfectly. I got most of the move. And by most, I mean, I got the entire body of the candle plus some, because I was able to trade in the wick. Oh, and I was holding like a 1.5 month long, 2 month long swing from the ILA USMX strikes on the US dollar. So it's don't get me wrong, outlooks are really, really important. And I've come to really enjoy the commentary I get out of these guys. But I've learned, like, definitively, especially over the last year, like, hey, the more, this is very, very true. The more you learn about the world, the better you get at trading. So the more outlooks you read and can competently understand, because I know there's a lot of financial jargon in there, so it's just like, okay, read the outlooks and Google search concepts, or, you know, you're always free to ask here in like the general chat about questions and stuff around these outlooks and whatever. And then same thing on the research forum. Like, okay, here's a bunch of political topics. If you don't know what a thing is, you can go to the pinned message, and it will tell you what the event is about. Jump to it, and then you can start scrolling down from there to get a chronological breakdown of what was going on and what new information has come out on some event. So then you kind of understand the things going on in the world that will impact it. Now, I've said this whole preamble to Ishiba is meeting with Trump today. If they make some kind of announcement saying, oh, you know, Ishiba will be a good friend and we're going to work out some stuff when it comes down to US-Japan trade. I mean, look at this.
Says the rise in 10-year yield is not worrisome.
Look how much stronger the yen got yesterday. Look, so this is Wednesday and Thursday.
Kashkari said it could also be from fiscal deficits in response to the 10-year rate. Fed will get inflation back down.
I'll go ahead and pause it for just a sec, because I'm about to make my point. at least when looking at the indicator here for the month, we're in kind of no man's land at the moment. If we continue falling from here, it's kind of a 250 pip range of guessing where the low might come in. So I probably want to stick to more weekly ranges going into the week ahead here. Yeah, you can see once you crossed the threshold here and you're into these very transparent gray low probability spots, right? Once you cross here, and that's very easy to see because it's just like, oh, yep, this is where the thing drops off visually, right? This is where the histogram drops off. So right there, that's the point of trying to catch a falling knife is no fun. This is all falling knife territory, in my view. It's like, okay, this can just run away. And if you're short from up here, the thing lucked out and it's way down here, it's a be careful and try not to touch it unless you actually get some new information that can update this. And we will probably be getting some of that information today when it comes down to Ishiba, depending on what news we actually get. You know, it could be benign. It could be. But I've learned that even when you expect something to be benign, you have to still be there and do your job if you want to do trading as your job. And pay attention to these events and watch them in real time and follow them very, very closely. Because a big part of trading is being the first or being close to the first. Like, as soon as the information comes out, you want to be in the trade. And all too frequently, 30 seconds makes a huge difference. I mean, that's why a lot of these, you know, bigwigs who trade lots of money, they pay out in the nose for what? Microseconds? Like, they want instant access to the exchange. So when it comes down to being the fastest, being first, there's a huge advantage there. I mean, there are people in the White House press room who likely send updates directly to traders. Like, there are probably some of the people who are press there. I would not be surprised if they were on some trader's payroll in order for them to receive texts. Like, you just get a semi-competent news reporter in there and you have them respond with X when they hear something, you know, regarding tariffs, right? And as soon as you receive that X on your phone, you go ahead and you put on a trade. And that's not insider trading. That's just getting your information faster than everyone else. About 5 seconds faster than everyone else. Because watching the stream of the White House is actually slower than receiving that text. So it doesn't look like Eurodollar's holding up. Yeah, it doesn't look like Eurodollar's holding up too well here at the moment. Yeah, it's down 25 pips on the day still. I mean, if it doesn't hold up, it'll come down to here. But again, given this data, I would be surprised. I would be surprised if dollar ended up stronger on the day with a worse jobs report. I'll definitely need to be reading some outlooks on why the... Oh, hello, kitty cat. Do you want out? Yeah, you do. All right, give me a sec. Let me let the cat out. Alrighty. Also, the streams are just for major events at the moment. I've been getting a lot of programming done this week. It's been very productive because I haven't had to stream and do all my day ahead and week ahead notes. I'm gonna still have to do some notes because we're getting a whole new set of outlooks for next week, which will be good. You know, I've got to read through all those. But when it comes down to what's it called? I'm just chilling out to this music, man. I woke up like an hour and a half ago and I'm still like, oh man, it's such a chill morning. Not a particularly, not the craziest NFP ever, that's for sure. Not the craziest NFP. But yeah, I haven't had to do as much prep work for all the streams because I'm not streaming every day, but some weeks I will be streaming every day. It really does depend on what the week is. Like this last week, streaming every day definitely would have been overkill. Streaming today makes a whole lot of sense with NFP, right, and everyone watching it. I'll have to review the calendar for the week ahead. You know, make one of these week ahead notes for next week to get prepared. And I'll go ahead and determine next week's stream schedule over the weekend. And we'll very likely have, I just, based off my gut feeling, I think we're going to have at least 2 or 3 streams next week. So I'm going to be getting a bit less programming done. I'm going to be more focused on, I'm going to be kind of split evenly between getting some programming done and streaming done. But yeah, nothing too crazy so far. I think we just got to let this, just give this time at the moment on the dollar side of things. And check up on it probably sometime early next week. Again, if you want to know when the next stream is going to be, you can subscribe with notifications or go to the streams chat here and get a ping when notifications are out. So with all that said and done, I'm pretty much set. I don't have much to add, and NFP's now over. So I'll go ahead and thank you all for watching. It was a pretty chill stream, and you know, I gave my little rant about how watching politics is actually, you know, very, very important when it comes to trading. I don't think I'll ever get over that. The more you know about the world, the better at trading you'll get. It's a very, very smart way, I think. of looking at what information you need to learn to get good at trading. Just learn everything. Just learn everything. Oh, man. That's why a lot of people get overwhelmed with it, you know? Anyways, I'll see you all in a bit.